everyone, my name is Ria Balaliker, and today I have the opportunity to introduce one of my good pals, Iman Naseer. So when thinking about ways to describe Iman, I couldn't come up with a better word to capture her than Iman. In Spanish, the word Iman means magnet, and honestly, as weird as it sounds, she is indeed a magnet. She's a magnet of bubbliness, somehow radiating energy even on days when most of us can barely keep our eyes open. She's also a kindness magnet, always ready to help out anyone out, or just give some encouragement or support. Sob. But most importantly, she's a candy magnet, somehow managing to have a couple of starbursts or dum-dums in her pocket 9 times out of 10. I'm positive she has something insightful to tell us today, so let's give it up for the class of 2020's magnet, Iman Naseer.
Each time I read a new chapter in my biology textbook, I am amazed by the beauty and perfection of the way human beings and the rest of the world were created. Learning more about biology has not only helped me understand the complexity of the human body, but has also allowed me to realize and appreciate the similarities between all forms of life. Genetically, you are 99.9% similar to the person sitting next to you. As humans, we are not as different from each other as we think we are. We each carry 3 billion base pairs of information inside us with the potential to unravel a piece of the mystery that makes us all so fundamentally human. At the end of the day, we are still more similar than we are different. However, when we look at the world around us, we rarely see people as equals. Rather, our eyes focus their attention to the differences that divide us. In my Meaning of Life class, I read a piece by Annie Dillard where she tells a story of a kindergarten class that puts a cocoon in a jar to watch the moth emerge. As the moth begins to emerge from the cocoon, it agonizingly spreads its frail, crumpled wings, struggling to free itself from a jar that is too small for it. As I read this piece, I noticed that human beings have the tendency to label others and throw them into jars that are often too small for them, and limit them from reaching their full potentials. What we could have been or where we could have gone then become a mystery. In my life, I have often been labeled and thrown into a jar that is too small for me. I have been judged and made fun of because I am a Pakistani Muslim, because my clothing and food are different from the majority, and because I don't look and dress and talk the way the world expects me to. The world says I do not belong. The world throws me into a jar and screws on the lid so tightly that I suffocate. The world that I once saw as beautiful and delightful is now a world full of hatred and disgust. I wonder how our world can be so full of bitterness and resentment, how even the slightest difference amongst human beings is ridiculed. The food we eat to nourish our bodies and the clothes we wear to shelter ourselves, these are the differences that get us thrown into jars. As I said earlier, we as humans are genetically 99.9% similar. So how odd is it that we choose to allow that 0.1% to divide us? The skin that serves the same protective purpose in all of us somehow manages to tear us apart simply because we each have a different skin tone. But when the world throws me into a jar, when the world limits me and puts me down, I protest for my life. I refuse to believe that the world is cruel, and I still imagine a goodness in humanity. Earlier in the year, I learned about Dr. Paul Brand, a selfless man who devoted his life to helping leprosy patients while maintaining a positive attitude about life through his gratitude. Choosing to live a simple life, Dr. Brand held a unique outlook on life. When asked why a good God allows such a blemished and painful world to exist, Dr. Brand encouraged people to imagine an alternative life without pain. He explained that with the absence of pain, we would not be alive. Every bodily response that we view with irritation, whether it be swelling, sneezing, or coughing, demonstrates a reflex toward health. Everything that we complain about is our greatest ally. So while we may consider pain an enemy, we can find a reason to be grateful. Dr. Brand has taught me that the universe is a friendly place, despite the darkness and hatred that often takes over the blemished world. Reading about his work has helped me seek my delightful corner of the universe, which has driven me to protest for my life. My delightful corner of the universe lies in my family, especially my parents. I find find the courage to protest for my life because my parents' hard work and strength encouraged me to stand up for myself and embrace my identity. When my parents moved to America, they worked tirelessly to provide their future kids with a better childhood than they experienced. Adapting to a completely different culture, learning a new language, and finding a job was not easy for my parents, but their strength and diligence to give me and my sister a bright future has inspired me. I find my delightful corner of the universe in my family. My family has proven to me that there is beauty in this world. The world will throw each and every one of you into a jar that is too small for you. The world will hurt you and limit you. The world will try to make you feel small and worthless. But I promise you that the beauty and delight of this world far outweigh the pain and hatred. I encourage you all to seek that beauty and find your delightful corners of the universe. Find that moment, experience, or place, no matter how small it may be, that gives you the courage and dignity to protest for your life and for the lives around you. Free yourself from your jar and spread your wings. Thank you.